Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today, oh my gosh guys, today I have some really awesome content to share with you. The knife that's in this pouch, oh my goodness. I'm going to be honest with you, this came in on the weekend, and I don't record on the weekend, so I had to make a decision. Do I wait until Monday, or do I just open it and then do the video later, right? And of course I opened it. I'm not going to let it sit there. I'm not a psychopath, right? I feel like most people would have made that decision. So I've already been in here, but I still want to share it with you. I still want you to experience this in this, the way that we normally do unboxing. So thank you so much to my patrons for supporting me. This is mine. I paid for this. You should check out NC Blade. That's who this was purchased from. I will link NC Blade down in the description. So a lot of you guys remember how excited I was because we waited for these for a long time. This is the Rassenti and Custom Knife Factory Snafu 4 Large. And I love this knife. It's an integral. It's one of my favorite acquisitions of 2025, and I think aesthetically it's one of the most beautiful knives that I have ever seen. However, I knew that they would do special ones. I knew that they would, and a lot of us saw that post on Instagram where they showed a few different variations of this knife in very special configurations. To my knowledge, the one that is in this pouch, they made 10 of. So I think that there's like 10 for each different color of inlay and for each finish. There are two different types of finishes for this tier of this knife. Whether or not there's higher tiers, I have no idea. But I think 10 of exactly this configuration exist. I don't know where they are. I would not expect to go to NC Blade and be able to buy this. I can also tell you that this was ridiculously expensive. The table price was $1,350, and I'll let you guys think whatever you want about that. That's fine. But yeah, probably not something that's going to be immediately available. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh boy, this is special. The first time, I mean, like I hate to have robbed you guys of my actual initial impression, but yeah, this is pretty cool. So we do still have the Zerkatai pivot collar. This particular one is like a red and black, like sort of a magma carbon fiber. I think it actually says on the card here, tie carbon fiber Zerkatai. So eventually it looks like or somewhere along the line they either have or will make a Zerkatai variation, which if they haven't yet, I will try to get my hands on that as well. But I don't know exactly what type of carbon fiber here. We have a full DLC frame and pocket clip. And obviously, the most impressive part of this knife is the blade, which is a full mirror DLC. They did do some versions of this that were just mirror, and I think they look really nice, right? They also had one that was just like this, but it had the blue. And I'll tell you the reason that I didn't want the blue is because I already own the Sakosha, the special version of the Sakosha with the polished blade and the blue carbon fiber. Actually, I'll get that knife out so that we can have a look at it. Now that knife was, the other one that I'm talking about was actually quite a bit less expensive, and the reason is because it's not an integral, but also just because, I mean, this is one of those knives where they're just slapping on a few extra $100 just because. But this is why. I didn't want to match this one perfectly. I think that these are two of the most beautiful knives that Custom Knife Factory has ever produced. And I really like the contrast here. This is obviously not carbon fiber, it's Zerkatai, right? This is just carbon fiber. Now, if they do a Zerkatai one, with the inlays there, then I would obviously go for that. This is serial, yeah, it says serial number 5 of this particular variation. I love this blade. I think this is the best looking DLC blade that I have ever seen. I think it's beautiful. I think Peter Rassenti makes an absolutely beautiful knife. This has nothing to do with Peter Rassenti. And I think Custom Knife Factory does such a good job with it. It is slightly awkward with the pivot color being Zircotie. It doesn't quite perfectly match with the red, but I think they're all the frames have that Zircotie pivot color, so that's just the way that it is. And I also wish they had done the pivot color on both sides. It's the same, with this guy here. It has the pivot color and it doesn't necessarily match perfectly, but I think it looks really, really good. Now, a lot of you are going to look at these and say, I would much rather have the basic one for, less than half the price, and I think that's perfectly fine. As a collector, I wanted both. It's just the way that it is. If you're wondering, does this mean that you're going to EDC this one? No. Both of these are safe queens. I know that some people really hate that word and it bothers them and they, oh, golly gosh, a knife's meant to be used. I would say sit down and be quiet and worry about your own money. It's pretty simple, right? If you want to use your knife, then use it. It's none of my business, and is just like it's none of your business whether or not I use my own stuff. But yeah, I do definitely EDC some knives and save queen others. These are both going to be save queens. I do have to point out that the action on this guy feels slightly smoother. This is really good. Like, the action here is really, really good. But for some reason, this one feels just ever so slightly smoother. And it's still breaking it. I know it looks like this one's smoother. What I'm saying is feeling the pivot, like the bearings on the inside, this one might be slightly tighter, but it feels like there's slightly less friction. I don't know what that is. But yeah, really, really nice. Absolutely. CKF does such a beautiful mirror DLC. I just cannot believe how good that looks. It is ridiculous. This is an object that I could not have hoped to dream of acquiring years ago. Knowing about the Snafu, and how much I love just the standard version of it. I think the first time I saw it was on Jim Skelton's channel. But to get a version like this is just amazing. So this will be in my collection forever. I hope they do more variations of this. They did have, like I said, they have the blue carbon fiber with the black mirror. If you went to Blade Show, you might have seen it. If you went by the NC Blade table or the CKF table, I'm not sure where these were being shown. But they had both red and blue with the DLC mirror, and then they also had both red and blue with a standard mirror. So, there were a few different variations there. So I'm going to guess there were 40 total in the mirror polish configuration, either DLC or regular mirror. And then that would be either red or blue with the carbon fiber. So 40 total, and I have absolutely no idea where they are now. I have absolutely no idea what they go for on the secondary market. It doesn't really matter. I don't plan to sell this. So really, really excited. So happy that it came in safe and sound. Just extremely cool. I have been wanting to make a bigger purchase for quite a while, and so this was an extremely satisfying purchase, given that every last element of this knife is absolutely perfect. So cool. That's going to be it today, guys. Just wanted to share this with you. This will not get its own review because I've already reviewed the Snafu 4.0 large. You can check out that review on my YouTube channel here. Just search Metal Complex and CKF Rassenti Snafu 4.0 large. That's going to be it today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.